Base ratings from Yellow Dish with Beetles. Today we are watching interesting beetles which are crowding here in dish. We have 4 species here. All together we have different species of different size. And we are crowding under the strong light, so we are very active. But we are sitting in terrarium. We have more space for sure. With some soil, with plants, with some food. But here we are just working as artists. Hello Oleg, best greetings. Today I show some beetles in night time just for fun, because night is going to be hopefully quiet, so it's possible to show beetles without sounds of drones. Last time I showed some beetles, and unfortunately there were some strange sounds a little bit around. Today it's still not. Yesterday night was very noisy. Nevertheless, we're just online. I have opportunity to show some beetles which I collected in a city. There is no big forest around, only some certain parks, so I cannot show you the biggest deer beetle, Cervus. So I can show you some big beetles, small beetles, and very little beetles. Why little? Just to show you diversity of beetles. You see here beetles of 2 sizes, strongest and smallest. And smallest I sitting here in tube. In tube I have very tiny beetles. Can some people identify what beetles are sitting here? You see, funny tiny beetles, very little beetles. They're crowding and they're happy because they're feeding on some plants. I collected them near Curculionidae in the center of the city, near my institute, and they were feeding on some plants nearby. Here at least we identify 3 species of different weevils. These are weevils. This biggest one is size about 3 centimeters, belonging to genus Baris. Yes, come in and try to escape. This is Baris. One small Apion of gray color and one Apionine of blackish, black and blue, black and violet color. So at least 3 species with rough identification. So can you suggest what are hosts? What is the host of these weevils? What we are feeding on? We are feeding on some plants which are in blossom now. And these are some seed pods of these plants. And these weevils are feeding on Malva, Malvaceae family. So they belong to family Curculionidae, and their size is quite small. Smallest about 2 millimeters, and the biggest 3 millimeters. There are some also Hemiptera bugs. But it's more interesting to check some weevils, because they're mating here. They're mating and they're feeding on flower pods. You see, very tiny and very funny weevils. We are feeding on flowers of Malvaceae, on flowers and also on flower pods and on leaves. This is Curculionidae family. Protapion, one genus Protapion, one Apion, and one Baris. Correct name I will write later in description of this video. I have the name. We were already identified by our expert on Curculionidae. This Baris is the biggest one here, down there. So these are very tiny, but they look very nice. Fat weevil, this is a Baris, also developing on larva. Larva is living inside stems and roots. Genus Baris. I put here a little bit filter paper to avoid extreme humidity. Hello love. Hello people who is joining us. We are watching tiny insects. Tiny insects here, very tiny weevils. If you can go to your garden, you can collect some larvae. Always you can find many insects, especially these weevils. We are feeding on larva flowers and on larva pods, like here. We put inside the pod the proboscis and sitting together male and female. I have a strong intention to escape. That's why I need to put the tube in direction of light, so they are disorientated. So they can move one way, another way. Otherwise they are strongly going inside cotton and can die. We try to escape. We make it with great force. Okay, these are tiny weevils, family Curculionidae, and our scarab beetles were sitting here, big one. As I promised to show you small beetles and very big beetles. Base greetings from Kyiv, capital of Ukraine. This is a channel devoted to insects. This is channel devoted to entomology, science about insects. I can try to give them cherry. No, I'm not cooking them. I'm just studying them. I'm just recording them. I'm just recording in their behavior, how they're crawling, how they're flying, how they're moving. These big beetles we do not eat, but small beetles we can eat. No. This one like cherry. Scarab beetles like cherry, and this can like cherry, and especially this one, flower beetle, Cetonia like cherry. But rhyno beetles doesn't like. I can show you the hornet beetles. Last time I showed the beetle from a close distance. These are not dung beetles, these are beetles developing inside wood. Dung beetles are different. These are rhino beetle, or rhinoceros beetles. We can see very nice face of rhino beetle. And these are two males. Which horn is better, bigger? Nearly the same. Male has very nice horn. Male has a horn and female has no horn. Beetle is pretty strong. When he's trying to escape, it's difficult to keep in hands. And I show you female. Female has no horn. Greetings to people who like beetles. You see, this is female, this is male. Female has no horn. Hello, Anna. You see, beetle has a lot of mites on body. But mites are not dangerous, don't worry. So male will try to kiss female. Kiss, 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 kiss. We do not damage each other because we have no mandibles. Their mouth parts are very small. But they are very hairy. This is female. One male and one female. They belong to family Scarabaeidae. Left side, this is a male. And right side, this is a female. You see, I have very strong forelegs. First pair of legs, very strong. To go out of soil. To go out of substrate. Inside dead tree. That's why 4 legs I have looks like so. Cetata. Где моя рог? Цитата. Це мама. Deer beetle, Lucanus cervus is different one. I don't have it now. This one is rhinoceros beetle. Latin name Oryctes nasicornis. Antenna is very small. This is a stream from Kiev, capital of Ukraine. Greetings to you, USA. Tilan, what is your state and city in USA if you are sending us greetings? If some people are watching us from other countries other than Ukraine, you can write the name of your country. Today we have first visitor in chat from USA. Lydia, are you from Germany? Or from another country? Dylan, I understood that USA is USA. What is your city or state in USA? USA is huge. Okay, Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia, this is on the southeastern border of USA, closer to Texas, and I'm just showing them. I do not disturb their life, their living. Maybe I can use them for breeding. Because they are living in my terrarium. I collected them just near the road, near old trees. Some old trees have been cut a couple of years ago, so beetles are sitting evening time just after the sunset, before darkness. I don't have too many bugs. I have some more, but I can show you some others. Nasty, what is your home country? Are you from what country? Some other beetles coming. Some beetles which like crawling. And these next artists are coming very soon. Just wait. Jacob, what is your home country? Yeah, very funny, Oleg. Yes, very funny. Nasty in Germany, my great pleasure. Okay, we have some other beetles. The dark one. These are stag beetles. Hello, greetings to Germany, greetings to Atlanta, in Georgia. These beetles really like cherry. If I give them a cherry, we will eat it very well. I like cherry very much. This brown beetle is June beetle, June scarab beetles. And this one, these many stag beetles of genus Dorcus, family Lucanidae, stag beetles. Very much smaller than the rhyno beetle. Hello, Rebecca. How are you? Best greetings to you. What is your home country? Shiny bars. I have some shiny bars, but they're in collection and they're dead. They're dry. So today I try to show you living bars. They're much more interesting. Collection is a good one, but collection is more interesting for professional. Only this colorful green flower beetle, Cetonia, or chafer beetle, hidden here somewhere. You see green one. And one tiny beetle is coming. One tiny beetle, this is a clck beetle, family Elateridae, smallest one, small one. Here, this is not cockroach. This is a tiny, tiny clck beetle, which making noise and jumping. Can jump very well. No, these are not poop rollers. These are beetles. We're just living inside dead trees. We're not collecting dung. These are not dung beetles. Dung beetle has no horn, some species, but some species with horn. But I'm living in the city, so dung is different. We have no cows here, no sheep. I have two species. Two specimens of dung beetles, but they are not very active today. I try to show you. Wait a minute. I show you real dung beetles and the clothes. I'm not going. No. But they are not very active. Wait a minute. Alex from Chernihiv region. He's a devoted, interested person in animals, in lizards, and interested in insects as well. Foreman, what is your home country? And improved, what is your home country? Okay, somebody asked for dung beetles. These are not dung beetles. Dung beetles, this one, you see, very tiny but not very active. Maybe dying. I'm not quite sure. These are real dung beetles, like small scarab beetles. These are very tiny. Where is my forceps? Yeah. This can live in the a little bit tired. We're sitting here for 2 days in cage. These funny beetles living in a poop. But their size is very small. Their size about 6-7 millimeters. I'm not quite sure they are tired too much. I got them just outside at street. Maybe one is still alive, so better to show you just big one and alive. I have also some interesting bugs here in petri dish, but these are not beetles. These are interesting wasps. Interesting wasp. These are chalcid wasps. They are seed eaters of family Torimidae. They are living inside fruits of rose hip. Their size 6-7 millimeters. Tiny phytophagous wasps. Superfamily Chalcidae, family Megastigmidae, genus Megastigmus. They're very slender, looks very nice, weight little bit sugar. I feed them with water and sugar, or water with honey. So by feeding on honey, I can try to give them honey, and you can see how they will be very happy about it if they will not escape. We can try to escape, but I try to be careful. Just a minute. I try to give them a little bit some drops of water to direct their attention to food. It's a good idea to feed your insects with honey. Now I give them a little bit honey. Wait a minute. Okay. I gave them a piece of filter paper with honey. They will be very happy about it. Yes, they're coming. They're coming for food. It's always important to give a little bit of water and honey. Santiago, what is your home country? Where are you from? And I show you the host plant as well. Oh, wait a minute. And this is a host plant. These are fruits of Rosa hip, Rosa rugosa. These tiny bugs were living inside these fruits. If you can collect it in your garden, you can hatch out of these fruits. All these insects were living inside. You see, some are still hatched from these fruits. This is a Rosa rugosa, Rosaceae family. Hello to Australia, with greetings. A great pleasure. I'm surprised with some people from Australia coming to us. It will be great to collect some Rosa from Australia. Many new species are coming to science. If you can collect some Rosa fruits or other fruits in Australia, many new species for science are living inside these seeds. This is a genus Megastigmus. Some seed feeders were studied in Australia, but not many of them. Thank you for your interest and curiosity. Yes, bugs were happy to come to food. Santiago didn't say about your country. Some scientists can send some material from Australia, or there are some special permissions for study. Yes, you see, they're coming for food. They're leaking. You see, they're crawling around. They're leaking honey. What about another beetles? I have some beetles. Not many. Only just tiny. Scarabaeidae beetle. But they're coming for tomorrow. So these are tiny phytophagous insects. Phytophagous seed-feeding wasps, or chalcid wasps. Santiago, are you from Brazil or from Mexico? Or maybe from Argentina? Santiago, are you from Argentina? Mexico, I've been once in Mexico and have visited Tamaulipas state. Have been working for 2 months in Tamaulipas, in Ciudad Victoria City. And I visited only airport of Mexico for 1 night and 1 day. Feed the bugs? Okay, very good. Good idea. Okay, we are feeding here just these tiny small wasps. And now we can feed why don't go back? What's the problem about Mexico? What's the problem? There are some problems. I know some entomologists are still working in Ciudad Victoria. Tamaulipas is closer to Texas border. So there are some problems with migration to USA maybe now. I visited Okay, more than 10 years ago. What's about feeding? Okay, for feeding I have apricot. I have a piece of apricot for feeding my beetles. They don't like to crash cherry, so I give them apricot. Well. Some scientists are working only in university. Scientists are living in university campus. University campus is usually more or less safe. To visit as tourist, maybe it's crazy. But work as scientists with good salaries in university is better than anything else. So Santiago is different. No, they don't like carrot, they like sweet fruits. They like apricot, so you see we will be feeding now just on apricot. They come in. What do you mean about kangaroo? Kangaroo is a pet? Yeah, you see, they found it. They found apricot and they are starting to check it. Thank you, Santiago. Actually, I collected many tiny insects like these tiny parasitoids near Ciudad Victoria. I liked very much some interesting places with cactuses, with palms, some local markets, some tiny water streams, and interesting plantations. But of course, nature in Australia is more natural and very specific. I would say unique. But it's always possible to find new material for science in Mexico, in Australia, or even in Europe. If you know some tricks, if you know biology of insects, phytophagous or parasitic. So we see. Somebody asked me to feed my beetles, so I'm feeding them. Actually, I'm translating this video directly from Kiev, the capital of Ukraine. If you heard about Russo-Ukrainian war, with some dangerous situation in Ukraine, I'm not in a front line, and today night is quiet. I'm in the capital of Ukraine. This is middle part of Ukraine, 500 kilometers out of front line. But 500 kilometers is not too much. Half away from front line. I gave them sweet fruit of apricot. Hello Jay. Hello J-Dub. What is your home country? Are you from Ukraine? Or from another country? Yesterday was air attack by some Russian drones. They were flying around with some strong noises, some explosions, some shootings, till from midnight till 4 a.m. till morning time. Today still no drones. Oh right, this one is tried to fly away. Greetings to England. What is your home country in England? City in England. I have been in England. I have visited more than 10 different cities and small places in England. In UK, to be correct. Scotland too. I visited Edinburgh and also Left Island. I visited Dublin. That's not UK for sure. I have been working in Natural History Museum in London and visited London a few times. How many? About 14 specimens here. 14 beetles here sitting in this dish, this yellow dish. Actually, I'm not making science about them, about beetles. I'm making science about this one. I'm studying parasitic wasps, and I'm studying some phytophagous wasps. These wasps, as I said, were living inside some fruits. So I'm preparing some publications about them, and I published some papers too. I'm studying parasitic wasps. You see here, these are fruits of rose. And here, I show you, these tiny wasps were just hatched, like here. You see the hole. This wasp hatched from these fruits of rose after winter. After winter, before and after flowering of rose, new phytophagous wasps are coming. This one, they're coming to green flowers and they're laying eggs inside these fruits. This fruit is rose hip, family Rosaceae. I found them just near my house, near apartment building where I am living in Kiev, just in city. This is very common ornamental plant, rose or rose hip. Some people are doing just tea from the rose. Family Rosaceae. I can't read. Just near the London, my great pleasure. Jay. What is your profession, Jay? If somebody can collect these lovely fruits in other country and can find something interesting, it will be great to study it. I need some more material from other countries. I have a lot of material, but still, any new material. You see here, for example, this one is just hatching. Just hatched. I show you another plastic container with them, many of them. Just a minute. Maybe it's not. I am publishing my results in scientific papers. You see here, different fruits inside and insects. Yes, you see here. So quite convenient to collect some fruits in some plastic jars to breed some seed feeders. Seed feeding insects are very interesting, belonging to different families. Eurytamidae, Taurimidae, sometimes Pteramalidae. This is not in focus, but these are the same. Tiny megastigmus. I can do it like that. I can fall down. You can check my ResearchGate paper. You can check my papers on ResearchGate. This is a special website aggregator, where scientists showing their papers just online. You can download it from the web. Name of website is researchgate.com. You can type Dr. Victor Fursov and you can find it. Or you can search for the link in the description of my channel. There are many links to my Facebook, YouTube channel, and also to my papers. So you can download papers I have published recently, paper about methods of collecting insects. Maybe you can call it trash flies, but I call them parasitoids or phytophagous chalcid wasps. Chalcid, this is family Chalcid, superfamily Chalcididae, which includes many families. Chalcid wasps. Check links to my home pages in the description of my YouTube channel. Open front page of my YouTube channel on computer and you can find links to ResearchGate and some other Facebook if you want to be friend of on Facebook, and we can exchange by some messages privately on Facebook, like some secret messages in Messenger of Facebook. Yes, sometimes it's quite easy to find my publications online in different places. J, are you biologist or not? J from Kent. Purpose of research? Interesting question. This is taxonomy, the identification of different insects, like this small, tiny parasitic wasp, this phytophagous wasp. And identification, if I can find new species, I describe new species for science. I have described already 53 species new for science, where indicated as genus name and species name on my Wikipedia page. 53 species of different wasps and flies. Not many, not 300, but more or less interesting. This is a genus Megastigmus. Hopefully you can find more new species and have a time to describe them in scientific papers, scientific entomological papers. Sometimes people from other countries send in me some material, so I described some new species from Mexico, new species from Panama, 2 new species of trichogramma biological control agent to control some Lepidoptera, some butterflies. They were collected by Dutch people in Panama, and I described them in joint publication with Dutch scientists. We described 2 species of trichogramma, and we studied their biology in Panama. I studied morphology and made identification, recognition that this is a real new species, new for science, and making detailed morphological description. Some of my colleagues are visiting different countries to collect material. Sometimes we can study material from Africa, but even European material is very interesting because you can collect some unique material from unique places which has not been collected before by anyone else. But such countries as Brazil, Mexico, Australia is a really unique place for the study. Yes, 53 species, I named them. In Indonesia, maybe every second species will be new for science. If somebody can collect insects in special traps or just breed them from seeds, you can send them for identification. Maybe new species can be described from Indonesia, from Southeast Asia. One beetle was trying to escape, making a noise. Which one? From my bags. I was busy. Maybe somewhere. Oh yes. One beetle escaped. One beetle tried to escape. This is a Dorcas beetle. If some people can collect insects in Indonesia in Malay traps, in yellow traps, can be interested in identification and description of new species, just contact me privately on my email. We can make some cooperation and study of these tiny parasitic and phytophorous wasps. Tiny, yes, there looks like tiny parasitic wasps, sometimes tiny black phytophorous wasps. They can be collected in this type of yellow dishes with water, or in Malay's trap as a big special traps. Hi Shmalo, are you from India or from Indonesia? Cherry. Usually entomologists they put their name of friends. Girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, or just some famous entomologists or people who collected material. For example, if John collected material, you can make a name Johnny, or Santiago, or Cedille. Some insects are quite small. They have size like this I showed you, 5 millimeters, 1 millimeter, and even half of millimeter. Very, very tiny. Smallest parasitoids 0.2 millimeters, like tiny infusoria. No, I don't need spider. I need very tiny parasitic wasp. I need seed feeding chalcid wasps. The smaller wasps were more interesting for me, because the smallest were not studied, they are very weakly studied, so it's possible to find new species. Yes, you can recognize my email in description of this video. You can send some private questions in email. And also you can send some photos by email. Green one is here. Green one is the Cetonia. No, Cetonia is alive. This one is trying to fly. This black stag beetle is trying to fly. Among all of them, just 15 different specimens, only 1 or 2 like to fly. Mostly they're crowding. Yeah. Yes, I published recently a paper with my Turkish colleagues about methods of collecting entomological material and methods of collecting parasitic and phytophagous wasps, with some pictures, some photographs, which can be used for collecting material in the nature. I can send this paper as training method for collecting material in your country. So if you can send me email, I send these methods of collecting parasitic and phytophagous wasps, how to sort them, how to keep them. Somebody joined us, probably a new one, because this one, small phytophagous wasps, my publications are not on Facebook. My publications on special ResearchGate, so written ResearchGate.com, ResearchGate.com, where you can download it. Facebook doesn't allow to put some attachment. ResearchGate.com has a stock of insects, stock of papers. So you see here, this I showed for newcoming people, tiny weevils, were the same size as parasitoids. Maximum of size, good question. One big parasitic wasp, chalcid wasp, was collected in Indonesia about 10 millimeters size, chalcid wasps. But parasitic wasps of superfamily Ichneumonidae, much bigger, were parasitoids of different insects like horntails, wasps and others, so their size may be up to 4 centimeter size length and more. I show you. So you see here smallest insects, and I can show you so these are small insects, and some big parasitoid is coming. This is a big parasitoid. This is also parasitic wasp. Just dead, sorry about that. But size of body 3 centimeter. 3 centimeter size. This is a genus Megarisa, superfamily Ichneumonidae, family Ichneumonidae. So this is a female just. So this is, and this is very long, you see, very long ovipositor. Ovipositor longer than body. Ovipositor, tiny tail, 4 centimeters, and length of body 3 centimeters, totally 7 centimeters. I collected it just on tree, because this is a parasitoid of horntail moth, horntail wasp living under the bark of tree. Some horntail wasp, this is a special group of Tenthredinidae, sawflies. Sawflies living under the bark of trees. They are parasitizing larvae inside the damaged wood or different trees. So when this parasitoid was drilling the tree, I collected it. What's about our beetles? These crazy beetles are enjoying apricot fruit. They're fighting for apricot. My great pleasure to have here today visitors from Australia, Germany, Brazil, England, and Mexico. Thank you for coming. So today we had very interesting international followers, visitors of my channel. I'm really pleased to hear it. Thank you, Santiago, for visit of my channel. Yeah, we're very happy. This is genus Dorcus. Thank you, Jay. Jay, are you interested in nature? In biology? What are your hobby? You can also collect some insects interesting in England, in Kent. Even from England, it's possible to collect new insects for science and describe them in entomological English journal. They are feeding here on apricot. They are eating apricot fruit. Marshmallow, yes, from certain extent it's possible to say that wasps were just very smooth without hairs, such kind of fur. But this is just a little bit exaggeration. Because wasp, this is a general English name for Phytophagous Hymenoptera and for parasitic Hymenoptera and also for stinging Hymenoptera. Because Hymenoptera, this is a big group which is separated on Hymenoptera aculeata, which are stinging Hymenoptera, wasps, stinging wasps and stinging bees, and Hymenoptera parasitica. I showed tiny insects, they were tiny parasitic and phytophagous wasps. What kind of larvae do you say, Santiago? Yes, I will try to buy some mole cricket. Mole cricket in our zoo shop, in our fishing shop. Sometimes I'm buying mole cricket in zoo shop to show them, because mole cricket is very beautiful, really, very funny, and with very strong forelegs. Larvae, I have larvae. Santiago is asking for larvae. Yes, my larvae are here in my refrigerator. I show you larvae. Larvae are coming. Wait, larvae and pupa. Interesting question. Larvae and pupa are coming. I have a lot of larvae. Larvae are dead. Sorry about that. These are larvae and pupa of... No, these are different pupa. These are pupa in alcohol. Pupa of hornets. Vespa crabra. So you can see the big one. And have a small one of genus Vespula. Oh, yes, Vespula. Also, where I kept them in the refrigerator. Larvae and pupa. They didn't hatch. I got them from the nest. They're dead. So they're fixed in ethanol. They were kept in a refrigerator for safety. These are pupa. About larvae. Larvae looks more funny. So these are pupa of hornets, and these paper wasps. Eat one! Okay, for that I need to show you as I am eating them. If you will make donations. They are fixed in alcohol, so they're very safe. And I hope so. Very healthy. But you can be my sponsor without these very funny tricks. In Ukraine we are not eating crickets. And you see, these are paper wasps, and these are the hornets larvae. Don't worry, I will not eat it because they are in alcohol. I do not drink alcohol. These are hornets. These are for students. I show you just for fun, but I show you educational material for my students sometimes. Young pupa are yellowish and white, and old one brownish and black. So well done. I cooked couple times ago, some larvae of Zophobos beetles, darkling beetles of genus Zophobos. I cooked larvae of darkling beetles in oil, and I ate them. Was no problem. I ate some night moths and pupa of moths in China when I visited China. Chinese were cooking everything, so we were cooking silk moths, pupa and silk moth butterflies. And it was pretty tasty, with some juice, with some sauce, very tasty. Jay, if you can send me mail just by postage, it's normal. It's not a problem. I can give you my address, my institute address. You can send any material. Just write your private email and we can discuss it. But what do you mean about send mail to Ukraine? What kind of mail? With insects or with books? In Japan, people do not cook these beetles and do not cook too much larvae of hornets. This is just exaggeration, only in some very small areas. Most Japanese even do not know about it. Only some areas we have such kind of tradition. Not like Indonesia, like Cambodia, Vietnam or Laos. What kind of questions approved? War is war, that's right. No, if somebody want to send me insects in small package, it's normal, it's no problem. Postage service is working for some food, for some books, for some scientific material, and even it's going pretty well, fast and more or less safe. It's okay, sometimes something like food can be stolen. That's possible, I suggest. But my insects are not interested for anyone else. Insects can be sent. Insects cannot reproduce between different species. Different species are totally cannot be bred. These are not mammals, no, they are not domesticated animals. Insects usually have very strict limitations of species. Sometimes possible some breeding for very close species, close in biology and morphology. So sometimes we have cryptic species, as we say, difficult to identify. We have very close morphological, biological and behavioral features. But species which are far away, completely different species, we are not bred usually. My pleasure, Jay. Yes, this kind of biological problem. If somebody wants to be a sponsor of this channel, welcome to see some links in the description. My great pleasure to see here today different international team from Mexico, Brazil, England, Indonesia, USA, Georgia, Atlanta. Yes, that's right. Insects, they have muscles. Muscles are used for flight, for example. Insects are flying, crawling, because they have muscles. Dragonflies, they have very strong muscles to fly very well. All insects, they have muscles. But their structure is not the same like human beings. Different, I guess. Maybe not mine Baris. I'm more interested not in Baris, maybe in some hornets. Some hornets will be interesting. Techno-wheels. Hornets are more interesting. Dead one. You can write on container dead insects, fixed insects, only for scientific purpose. I can explain. And which has no commercial purpose. So dead insects can be sent easily, more or less. Sometimes customs can open packages, but if we can find letter with description that this is scientific material, we can release it. Okay, that's right, I can explain it in email. Yes, I know about Asian hornets. I have this Asian hornet in my collection. But today we have stream with living insects. Collection I can show you for my team next time. Feeding insects sitting here. Lobsters, this kind of crabs, they belong to same arthropods. They have a different taxonomical positions, but arthropods, they are relatives, insects, and they are also arthropods. Isaac, what is your home country? Sometimes we are fighting. Rhyno beetles are more colorful. They're more funny. Alright. What is your state in the USA? Isaac, today we had a visitor from Atlanta, Georgia. Where are you from? When will we die? Some beetles, I can mount them in collection, for collection. I'll show you what happens if we die. When someone is dying, eventually we will go to collection like that. It will be spread and mounted. This is a female rhyno beetle which died eventually, so I did for collection. I cannot show you favorite Florida, my great pleasure. Greetings to beaches of Florida. Out of beaches. That's right. So I can make them for collection. Jay said about Asian hornet. I can show you hornet as well, but in collection. It's in separate one. On frame. Yes, my great pleasure if you have been surprised by some scientific stories. It's quite difficult to show you some my favorite subjects, Santiago, because my favorite subjects very small and I don't have them today because I brought them to my laboratory. They're very small. My smallest insects just 0.5 millimeter size. By the way. And some of them They are really small. Some of my favorite insects, small parasitic wasp, is just 1 millimeter size. So that's why I can show you some framed collection of insects, like these hornets. These are European hornets. Queen, workers, and male. What do you mean in laboratory? So these are hornets. Small Asian hornet is not here. In my laboratory I keep scientific collection which is mounted on special glass slides, and I have some small material, small insects, large material with small insects, because my insects, as I said, very small. This hornet is big one, 4 centimeters, but my tiny insects were tiny, very tiny, half of millimeter. And this hornet is 4 centimeter size with huge sting. Huge mandibles. And this is a worker. And this is a bumblebee. This is a bumblebee. Bumblebee. So my favorite insects, parasitoids, need to be shown under the microscope, under the very high magnification, at least 100 times magnification. This one has no wings. It was born without wings because of some kind of disease. Some defects of wings. Queen without, but with very strong sting. This is also European hornet. And you see the size of honeybee. Left side, this is a pupa. But I did video of this funny female when she was alive. I made a video about it. These are hornets. Vespa crabro, European hornet. I cannot make music, I am just, because it's midnight in Ukraine. And these are round wasps. Paper wasps, sorry, not a round wasp. Paper wasp family, Vespidae. Some Palistes and Paravespoda. This is used also for my outreach activities. These tiny wasps, much smaller than hornets, and they are not dangerous for honeybees. They do not steal honey. They do not kill honeybees. They are very safe. And they are not aggressive. This is Palistes. Genus Palistes, paper wasp. But they can eat meat. But hornets and adults of paper wasp were eating liquid of nectar from flowers. Only larvae eating meat. This is Palistes too, and this is Paravespula, different one, living underground. I have special nests. I have sometimes dreams about wasps. I showed nests. So this nest, the nest of this wasp is usually underground. Ukrainian honeybees coming. These are honeybees. Workers, and these are drones, males. Males are different from workers. We are framed in this in petri dish for outreach activity to show it for students, because it's very handy. These are workers of honeybees, and these are wild bees, wild solitary bees, genus Osmia and Antidium, and some tiny wasps. And these solitary bees, wild solitary bees. But this is collection. Here, this is not bumblebee, this is also solitary bee. Solitary means not social, not making a colony. These are honeybees and drones of honeybees. Alright, I have very funny bee. I have big mammoth wasp, family Scolidae. And this is a Scolidae, family of parasitic solitary wasps, hunting for larvae of rhyno beetle underground. So female is attacking larvae of rhyno beetle underground. This is Megascolia immaculata. Very colorful one. But these are males, they are not stinging. They are very safe. These are males with black head and black antenna. They are not stinging. Hornets are stinging. But this is a female, big one. These are males. Tiny males. Wait a minute. I will switch on my power bank. Yes, hornets sometimes eating small wasps. You see here, this is a honeybee, this is male of Megascolia immaculata, and this is female. Female is can catch the larva of rhino beetle underground, sting it, paralyze it, lay egg on the larva of rhino beetle underground, and larva of rhino beetle will be eaten by ectoparasitic wasp. Because this wasp is ectoparasitoid. Larva is eating host from outside, sitting on the body of host. This is not a hobby, Margot. What is your home country, Margot, actually? This is a science. This is a scientific activity. For some people it's hobby, but for me this is a scientific study and also outreach activity for students and for interested people. Yes, there are different documentaries about fighting between hornets and honeybees. Yes, maybe Margot, maybe Jay, you are right. That's funny. Who knows? Maybe we are not right. If Margot is not right in the name of his country, maybe he's, as I say, from Northern Territories. Somewhere else. Actually, I have been stung by this mammoth wasp once, because usually I was feeding this lovely wasp on my finger, but eventually one time during my stream, during my video recording, this big wasp stung me, and this video is very popular on my channel. Stung me in my finger. It was painful for 3 days. Sorry about it, but fortunately I have not been stung by hornets. Never. Only once hornets tried to attack me, and they were very angry flying around me because I was demolishing their nest, but I was very well protected by plastic suit. That's why they didn't sting me, but they tried to push the poison, like syringe during the flight, just in front of my eyes. But I had my eyeglasses, so I was very surprised because one hornet was flying nearby and used his sting as a syringe, trying to make a drop on me during flight. So by my eyeglasses were very helpful. So I have not been stung. So male, and you see size of honeybee. I enjoy someone was actually from Indonesia. And Santiago in Mexico. If you want to send me some insects, I would be very interested to see some stingless bees, because there are some stingless bees native bees living in Mexico. But I have not collected them because I have not seen too much flowers near Ciudad Victoria. It was very dry season in December and January. But for example, these are solitary bees. Up where this is a honeybee, these two honeybees. These are solitary bees. But there are special some Mayan bees. I guess Mayan bees were stingless. Wild Mayan bees were very nice. It will be great to have them in collection. I guess they're probably not very big, maybe smaller size than honeybee. But they can be green, blue, yellowish and black color. I'm not sure. What color do you mean? Maybe green one. This green stingless bee will be very interesting to have in collection, to use it for outreach activity, to show it for students, and to have it in our collection as well. Small size, yeah, right. Horsefly, very funny. Horsefly bee, very funny. But they are not. They are biting a little bit, but they are not stinging. But all these stingless bees, they have sting. They have sting, but they don't use it. Their sting is a little bit small, so they are not very much aggressive. These are also solitary bees. They are not stinging. And these two bees, they are parasitic. These are cuckoo bees. They are called cuckoo bees. This one, and this one. Cuckoo bees. And this is solitary bee. Wild solitary bee. This one also wild solitary bee. Not domesticated, not Apis mellifera. These are different species, different families. They are not relatives. Maybe finally I can show you some other type of parasitoids. I showed you very small parasitoid, but I can show big parasitoid. For example, there are some parasitoids of butterflies, but not butterflies adults, but parasitoids of pupae. For example, these two species are parasitoids of pupae. You see, this parasitoid emerged from this pupa, from this chrysalis. Larva was developing inside, so this adult, this wasp, hatched from this pupa. And this also parasitoid hatched from another one. So this is a parasitoid which ate actually the content of this pupa. Family Pneumonidae. I'm not quite sure about the name. It needs specialist. This one pupa is of Mahon Papilionidae. I call it chrysalis. But another one is eaten by parasitoid. And these are Noctuidae moths, nighttime moths collected on the light trap. Finally, I can show you some Neuroptera, family Neuroptera. Chrysopa, family Chrysopidae. And big one, this is a antlion. Antlion, big one. Larva is developing underground, feeding on ants. This is a big one, antlion. Looks like a dragonfly. Some students say, this is a dragonfly. I say, no. This is Neuroptera. This is a separate order, predaceous one. This antlion doesn't eat. As a predator, this adult is eating nectar on flowers, but larva is predaceous. Larva is predaceous. Yes, that's right, Santiago. My tiny parasitoids, for example, 0.5 millimeter size egg parasitoids of this Rhizopa. Rhizopa is laying eggs, and my parasitoids attacking eggs of different species of Rhizopa and other insects like butterflies and moths. So parasitoids of moths, butterflies, beetles, and Neuroptera order as well. No, antlion doesn't pull off wings. Antlion is flying very well. This is not ant. This is antlion with predaceous larva. Okay, I can remain some collections for next stream. So thank you for being with us today. Thank you for participation. Thank you for writing comments. Thank you for thoughtful discussion. A great pleasure to have so many visitors from different countries. Hope to meet you again as subscriber. So don't forget to subscribe, so you can find sometimes my new videos in recommendations on YouTube. Thank you for being with me during this stream. It's midnight. My Beetles sending you best greetings from Kyiv, capital of Ukraine. Saying you hello, saying you goodbye, and saying stay with Ukraine. My Beetles say support Ukraine and help Ukraine. Ukraine forever. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to discuss insects on email as well. See you next time, next stream. The sooner the better. Ukraine forever. If you have questions, you can drop me email. Thank you for supporting Ukraine. Santiago. Looking forward to see you next streams quite soon on this weekend. Bye bye. Don't forget to subscribe, or you can be my sponsor of channel. See links in the description.